About Christ consciousness. So today I'm talking about Christ consciousness, and far from this being a religious teaching, this is actually a non-religious teaching, that the ideas of Christ consciousness are foundation ideas based in spiritual fact, or the fact of energy as it flows in the universe, around which or upon which religious beliefs have been based or have been built. So when I talk about Christ consciousness, I am talking about this area of the non-physical anatomy. And this is the anatomy that is around, surrounding, and intertwined with every cell of the physical portion of the body. This is a body which everyone possesses, but which many people are not aware that they possess. This area over here of the non-physical anatomy is a very special organ on the non-physical body. I have also depicted it here, and I chose this image, which, although slightly skewed at slightly an angle, shows very well this area right up here, where those two chakras, those two energy centers, combine with this right here, is the source of everything. So that is infinity, that is oneness, that is the source, and it is from there, like a cascade, like a waterfall, that all of this beautiful energy circulates down into here, the physical realm. And of course, it is also a reverse process where energy and stimulation circulates and is refined from the general to the specific, moving higher and higher and higher into vibration until it is transmitted back to the source in a beautiful feedback loop of up and down. Being connected to or activating this area of the physical anatomy is very pro-survival. It is a very good thing to do because it offers guidance to what otherwise would be a journey that is taken totally in blindness. This area right here, this intersection, is a very important piece of physical anatomy. So over here on the left, what we have is a basic human form, and there's this place right here. That's an approximation on this drawing, but that is really to show that there's this place directly in the center of one's physical head that is the point of intersection between the violet and the indigo chakras. So the way that the indigo chakra is situated, you could think of it as a lens that is in front of one's face. And of course, in terms of balance and symmetry, it also extends behind one's head. And that the center of these two swirling vortexes meet at the top of the spine. Right there, top of the spine. And that this whole apparatus, and also here we have the ears on the front view, and this whole apparatus is spinning around in this direction, okay? Now let me rewind. At the very same time that you have a vortex that is spinning over here like this, I just drew that up there so that you could see how similar it is to a halo. However, it is actually situated more inside of the physical anatomy, just about like there and just about like there, with, actually that's not even accurate, more about like there, with these center portions coinciding with that little dot that I drew there before. And this violet chakra is rotating perpendicular to the blue chakra. So it is rotating, you could imagine it going around like this at the same time that the blue chakra is rotating around like this. So we have a beautiful gyro-stabilized effect here that allows one's mind, because remember, this whole apparatus here is about the steering wheel of your mind. When I'm talking about stabilizing it, I'm talking about keeping your mind and your ability to think clearly on one track, as opposed to beginning to think about something, then associating over here because you saw something, returning to the past, to a hurt of the past, thinking about your energy bills and how are you going to pay the bills in the future, then being drawn astray again by some physical discomfort like having to eat something, and then, oh yeah, you might not even remember that what you meant to be thinking about was this particular concept, and that would take you in the direction on the timeline that you wish to be on. When you raise your energy to this level, and remember that this is an evolution and a journey that starts all the way at the bottom and concludes at the source, which is infinity. But when you have reached this level and you have not yet reached the level of connecting with this guide, because I call the blue chakra the library card of the universe, and I call this violet chakra the librarian of the universe, because it is by consulting with this librarian to guide this blue lens through which one may look at and think through. It is by that guidance that one receives true information. Now, it's possible to show information, but to show it in such a way that it is being presented falsely, that essentially using facts to prove falsehood. And that you could imagine if you were reading a book and you started at page 25, then went to page 600, then returned to page 39, you could definitely jumble the information that is given. So when you get your library card of the universe, it is very important that you use it wisely. You use it with guidance from above telling you, hey, look over here, or hey, you better look over here. There's something interesting and important for you to learn. And it is also important to have a firm basis of unconditional love over here, because when the librarian of the universe directs your vision to see this, and you see it, it might be something that is disturbing, or that basically it challenges the status quo of what you expect or what you would choose to, what you would rather prefer to ignore or possibly not see. It is essential to keep your heart open. By keeping this clearinghouse open, that energy may travel both in this direction and in this direction. And certainly it is being transmitted back to the source, back to infinity, but it's also being expressed down here in the physical realm. Now, everything that I've been talking about here is about Christ consciousness. It is difficult to speak about this topic, which is actually a piece of physical anatomy, because there has been so much human drama and misery wrapped around the idea of religion and of Christ. So putting it in a very basic sense, just as I have spoken before, how unconditional love is a vibration or a tone that one's non-physical body emits, and that it is like the currency of the universe, and that it is just like singing a song or making a musical note. Either you are in tune or you are not in tune, and how it is the part of the earthly journey to learn how to make that sound of unconditional love, to make that vibration. Well, so too is there a vibration associated with this level of the chakras. Right here, this is all about making one's indigo or brow chakra in tune. In other cultures, this was the realm of Krishna. In some cultures, it is the realm of Christ. It is literally a consciousness that exists anatomically on the structure of, let's say, beings who are in the physical dimension and who contain non-physical anatomy. In fact, all of these centers up and down your body, all of them are about being in partnership with spirit, that all of this is a symbiotic relationship between the physical and the non-physical, where physical has partnered with non-physical because it is a pro-survival trait, and where the non-physical has partnered with the physical in order to gain new ideas, new creativity, and in order to be able to manifest into the physical realms of density. This is all about partnership. This area right here, this is all about partnership between the human, the anthropomorphic, which is when one raises one's energy simply to the level of over here, simply to the level of the brow, and has not yet connected with the source up here, that is seeing on an anthropomorphic level, which means human-centered. It is like saying that you are looking through the world through a lens of humanity, understanding the world through the filter of being a human. Here is your human lens directly in front of this person's face, and it is through there that one is understanding the abstract reality or the abstract movement of energy in the universe. Instead of just seeing two particles that knock into one another, you are actually seeing, oh, this is a person falling in love with this person, or this is a person being at war with this person. So it is very different when you begin to see something that is an abstraction, such as DNA being expressed in the physical form such as a person. And it is essential to retain non-judgment as one is perceiving, oh, this is energy doing this with energy. And I'm interpreting it, or one is interpreting it through the human filter, and then achieving different emotional and intellectual responses via that experience. When one connects with this area up here, which is the connection to the divine, or the connection to information and guidance from above, then that guidance from above begins to inform this vision on an anthropomorphic level. And it is the perspective of the higher self that begins to direct the mind for maybe in this direction or maybe in this direction, and that it continues to increase this reverberation of unconditional love. That when you read the book of the universe, the pages in the right order, as determined by the librarian of the universe, that it increases unconditional love, increases these reverberations outward and outward and outward. This is such a big topic, and as always, there's a lot to cover. I'm going to say that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more lessons for full spectrum humans.